Welcome to Hello Darlink talk show, where we have conversations with amazing people with inspiring true stories. Today, my very special guest on Hello Darlink is Troy Coward, actor, model, entrepreneur, and man of many talents. With over 25 feature films under his belt, Troy is best known for his part in Australian TV soap Neighbours and the international #1 TV series Dr. Blake Murder Mysteries. Today, Troy will talk about his life, career, new book, and his own murder mystery. Hello, Darlink.
Hello, Darlink.
Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being here. Troy, Darlink, your movie career is rocking. Awards, international productions. Tell our viewers your latest movies and your latest awards.
Yeah, it's exciting times at the moment, a lot going on. We just won Best Supporting Actor for a feature film called Hidden Light that just premiered in Perth. That's over at the Canadian World International Film Festival. So we've got to fly out there in March actually for the premiere. A lot going on. We've got another premiere called 11 Days happening this Sunday in Perth. Did work on Neighbours and Dr. Blake Murder Mysteries actually, which just aired probably a month ago, in 132 countries and 1.7 million viewers, so that was exciting. Yeah.
Any dream director you would like to work with?
Oh geez. I was going to say Weinstein's, but now I don't know. Ridley Scott or there's anyone over in LA really that's doing some big things. So.
I hope you will be watching.
Fingers crossed.
When did you discover your love for acting, and when first time you decided you're going to be an actor?
Oh geez, probably early. I was about 12 years old, did drama and everything in high school, and I got asked when I was in year 8 to be a part of a year 12 production, which is like sort of the end of year wrap up. It makes me laugh. It was basically called DJ TC Hits from the Lips.
Wow.
My initials are TC, so I was the MC for the evening, introduced all the acts come on stage. We ran that show for about a week and then got involved in the Rock of Stedford and a bunch of other productions. And then it wasn't until, I was about 19, I got hit up by a woman that I actually went to school with and did drama with. She got a job for Aragon, which was an acting employment company that hired professional actors to work out at the police academies in their scenario training unit.
Okay.
And went for the audition, got the job, and spent 5 years out at the police academy doing all sorts of reenactments, domestic violence, suicide, gang warfare, armed robberies, all sorts of stuff.
Domestic violence, it takes me back, I will ask you to take us back to your childhood. You had pretty unusual and traumatic experiences as a child. Can I ask you to share it?
Yeah, sure.
So tell me about you growing up, about your dad.
Look, Dad, hard worker, but he was diagnosed schizophrenic and alcoholic. So, mixing medication with alcohol, it was eventful evenings, some of the time. And then, when I was about 15, he committed suicide. So, as a young bloke, I guess it's going to be a bit of a hard thing, to sort of deal with. But, it all sort of leads you in another path and...
So how did you cope with it at the time of being 15 and obviously witnessing loss of your father in such a tragic way? How did it impact on you then, if you compare it from your point of view of today? How did you cope with it?
I was lucky. I had a lot of good support around me, I guess. I was out of home when it happened. I was in foster care and whatnot. And then when I got told basically that it had happened, I went down to the house and seen Mum and my brothers, and it was just traumatic, I guess, but I had the support, and then I ended up, my dad was a professional boxer, and he wanted me to do boxing and everything, but we obviously didn't get along very well, and hence why I was out of home and whatnot. But dealing with it, I really sort of started boxing and training, and within about 10 months, I ended up at the Nationals and went with Danny Green, actually. Yeah.
Boxing alongside of Danny Green. Tell us about it.
It was good. Went to the state titles, and then went over to the Nationals and got silver over there. So I was ranked first in WA, second in Australia. Me and Danny were different weight classes, so luckily I didn't have to fight the legend.
Amazing, amazing. Danny was a guest on Hello Darling once.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that boxing, being a boxer, professional boxer, is very useful in you achieving or getting a movie parts where you play the boxing characters, yes?
Look, it was definitely a benefit with Neighbours, because I played a boxing manager.
Yeah.
And with Dr. Blake Murder Mysteries, I played a professional boxer who ends up dying in the ring, and then Craig McLaughlin's got to come on board and then suss out how my character dies.
Yes.
So it definitely helped. I trained for that role. I had about 4 weeks to prep, so I trained like 31 times in 21 days.
Yes.
Doing the whole diet and all that sort of stuff to try and get into shape, so I had to drop about 8 kilos for the role. But it was a real good challenge, and I was so up for it. It was a real opportunity of a lifetime for that one.
So, in spite of your traumatic childhood, what good comes out of it, one of the good things that came out of it, is your skills as a boxer that your dad was forcing on you at this stage, yes?
Yeah.
Just staying with your childhood for a while, what are your most traumatic memories of your childhood from these times when your dad was still alive, fighting his own demons?
Probably seeing, there's a few. I mean, Dad locked me and my cousin in the room, put all petrol on the ground, and went around with a lighter. Don't know why he decided to do that, but anyway, that and probably the hardest thing was just, it was a frequent occurrence seeing him coming in the room with us 4 boys, and we lived in Norseman, an old place up there, and 4 of us boys in the room, and it was just a frequent occurrence, I guess, having Mum come in the room screaming and him dragging her out by the hair, and bounced a tyre off her head and fractured her nose and eye socket and all sorts of stuff. So it's hard. Back then I didn't know, I just thought it was not the norm, but you only know what you know at that age. When you're 15, I didn't.
Yes.
Thought all families deal with similar sort of stuff, I guess, weirdly.
And you recently became ambassador for Lifeline, I believe, yes?
Yeah, doing some work with them, and did one of the camps with Zero to Hero for suicide prevention, and just trying to, I guess, educate and help young kids out.
Yes.
Yeah.
You obviously do it because of the times have changed so much, the taboo and the stigma attached to mental health.
Yeah.
Do you believe that if it wasn't happening 20 years ago, what happened to you, that he would have had bigger chance of, coming out and getting help?
Yeah, 100%. I think, it is taboo and no one wants to talk about it. It's an epidemic. It happens so much up in the mines, and people overextending themselves financially, and guys, blokes are blokes, they want to keep it quiet and sort of deal with their own insecurities and stuff that's going on in their own head. They don't tend to really want to share their feelings so much. And I guess with Dad, that was something that, he battled, and it was his own demons and stuff that went on. And back then, 20 years ago, they just didn't have the infrastructures, I don't think, and as to what they do now, the awareness is not out there. It wasn't out there as much as what it is today, which is such a great thing,
Yes.
It's like I did a film with Catherine Langford, that Netflix star for 13 Reasons Why.
Yes.
That whole show's about suicide. She commits suicide,
And young people being affected by it, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, she's got nearly 8 million followers online now,
Yes.
and inspiring young people, I guess, in a positive way, and being on the Ellen Show, all sorts of stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's something that has not been talked about, and that was just a show that was very well put together, and it sort of broke the ice a little bit for people just to start talking and being open about talking that it's okay not to be okay. And just to talk and share your feelings, so yeah.
That's right. Troy, your life has been thrown upside down a few times in your relatively very young age. I believe in 2013 you have had your own murder mystery going through. Can you share the story with us?
Yeah, it's a bit of a crazy thing that I went through. I'd had a property in East Perth and basically leased the property to someone. They subsequently subleased it to another guy, and months later the guy ended up getting murdered. It was a Rottnest murder case. It's been all over the news, it's gone worldwide.
Today Tonight?
Yeah, it was on Today Tonight, and numerous newspapers, all that sort of stuff about it. But yeah, the guy had basically shot in the head twice and chopped up into 6 pieces. And yeah, removed, and his head was found at Rottnest by, I think, an 11-year-old girl. So yeah, it's been a crazy
Okay, so were you ever a
situation.
suspect for a while?
Yeah, well, look, because I've worked out at the police academy for years, and that I sort of know the procedure, I guess, and they've just got an elimination process. So obviously I had nothing to do with any of it. I was just a landlord that unfortunately got stuck in a shitty situation where basically there's been a murder, and unfortunately, yeah, I've just sort of been dragged through the mud a bit with it. The apartment was trashed by the police and put all the lead-based ink throughout the property, and I had to then go ahead and re-renovate. Yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy time.
I believe you lost your business, yes? Or it affected your business that you were running at the time? I even read something where you said, losing everything taught me everything.
Yeah, it's true. I think, you know, as crazy as it sounds, like everything happens to you in life for a reason. And it's not what happens to you, but it's how you deal with it. So I've sort of had to look at whatever good can come of something so bad.
Yes. So what good came out of such a horrific situation?
Yeah, basically, I guess the positive things, it sort of really, I mean, it definitely rocked me going through what I went through, because I'd organised for this guy to move out basically 6 weeks prior. So on the 16th of December, I'd gone there to collect the keys and knocked on the door, and a guy spoke to me through the door and just said, look, don't make it a bigger deal than what it needs to be. Come back in a couple of hours, I'm cleaning up for Stephen. So me and a real estate mate of mine left and came back, and the door was ajar, but this guy plus 2 others were moving out bags which turned out to be body parts.
Wow.
And then I had about 2 weeks before Christmas and renovated the place. So unfortunately I'd cleaned up the murder site without knowing.
Wow.
And then got put through the ringer that 2 weeks after, 9 cops knock on the door and they confiscate the place. And I ended up sleeping on the floor at the office and whatnot. And this went on for about 10 weeks. And unfortunately, after the investigation, you know, they'd given me the keys back, and they showed me the apartment as to the state that it was left in, and it was just destroyed. But they gave me the keys back and said, well, we thought we had you, and had a laugh about it. And I said, so what do you mean? And they said, well, you were a #1 suspect in the beginning, which rightfully, like, I'm not an idiot, I know how it looked. I'd clean up the murder site. The guy had owed me money, like, but I definitely thought that I was being set up for it.
Wow.
So it sort of messed with my head a bit.
I would say so.
As you can imagine. but since then, you know, there's been a lot of positive things that reevaluated my life. I lost my business that I ran for years and all that sort of stuff, and other properties and whatever because of it. But it sort of pushed me into a mindset of believing that, it's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it. And that shift mentally really put me into working for suicide prevention with Lifeline and Zero to Hero, and just trying, I guess, to inspire young youth that sort of mentality that it's not what happens, it's how you deal with it. And it's just, I guess it's been a roller coaster.
Incredible.
To say the least. Yeah.
Incredible. Troy, so if I was to ask you, what's next for Troy, apart from flying to the awards, festivals and what's next for Troy?
Our film that I did with Catherine Langford, that's just won an award over in America. Hidden Lights screening at Cinefest in Los Angeles in January.
Yes.
And then I won Best Actor for Hidden Light at the World International Film Festival in Canada, so we're over there for that.
Yes.
In March. I'm doing an autobiography, a book. Start up my own YouTube channel and all that sort of stuff.
What will be a title of the book?
No Easy Way Out.
And what's the mission of your book? What's the message from your book?
I guess it's just a bit of an autobiography of sort of the trials and tribulations as to what people go through, and really just hopefully, I look at it like if it inspires one person, then happy days. You know, everyone's got their story and their journey, and people go through trials and tribulations in their life, and some come out of it in a good state, and others don't. And so, hopefully, with a bit of luck, it just inspires some people to keep fighting a good fight, really, and overcome what they've come to at that point. Because at the end of the day, I mean, life's really what you make of it.
And the dream parts and the dream role you dreaming about? Romantic musical?
Yeah, why
Love
not?
Not Actually,
yeah, look, I've actually just got back from LA and spent a month over there, and
How was it?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, we got looked after over there. I met up with Rudy Youngblood, who's the lead actor of the Apocalypto film with Mel Gibson.
Yes.
So he ended up putting me up over there, and we went to VIP fight night and met Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Sr. And but I've got a script that basically I've got 50% shares in it, and a good mate of mine had written it, called Funny Money. So,
Funny Money?
Yeah.
I can fully vote for it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. But Rudy's keen on coming on board, and so we're looking at getting some investors and everything on board at the moment. And
Great.
going to look at filming half here and be half in LA.
Part 2 will be called No Funny Without Money.
Yeah.
Troy, before you go, who is most famous person in your phone?
My phone?
Yes.
Jeez.
You can always say hello, darling.
Yeah, of course, it's you. I don't know. Jeff Fennick. No.
Okay.
And you, of course.
Thank you. Talking about your movie work, tell us about most interesting, memorable moments, people you worked with, actors, directors, most embarrassing moment, the best moment of your movie life so far.
I think inspirational is probably going to the I Am Heath Ledger doco. That was amazing, really inspirational, just seeing his career and another Perth boy just plugging away and giving life a crack. That was really inspiring. And then probably funny moments working on Dr. Blake Murder Mysteries with Craig McLachlan, and I was lucky enough to work with John Waters again. I worked with him about 10 years ago. But yeah, Craig is just a real character.
Really?
Yeah, like there's a scene where basically my character dies, in the boxing ring. So I'm knocked out and I'm laying there after a big flurry of punches and whatnot. Got blood coming out here, and the director goes, cut, and Craig's come over to me to see if I'm still breathing.
Yes.
And I open my eyes and he's there about to give me a kiss. What are you doing, you silly bugger?
Yeah.
He's just a real character. he's just always making everyone laugh.
So your favorite part so far? If you would have to choose my most favorite part so far, which one?
Probably all the training and fight rehearsals, everything for Dr. Blake. I
Yes.
thoroughly enjoyed doing that. And even working on Neighbours was really inspirational for me because I grew
Incredible.
up,
Yes.
you know, watching the show and then to one day, many years later, be on it.
What birthday did Neighbours celebrate recently? How many years Neighbours are running now?
Jeez.
Longer than you alive, probably. 50?
Probably 50 years or so, isn't
Big
it?
50. Well, 50 is new
Something like
30, so you know what
Yeah.
I mean. Troy, if you had a magic wand, what would you wish for?
That's a good one, isn't it?
I hope so. Magic wand, one wish.
Probably no poverty. Probably no poverty in the world. I think there's so many people that suffer, and we're lucky. Like when you are blessed enough to travel a bit and travel
Yes.
the world, like you don't know what you don't know, and when you go travelling, it just opens your eyes up to poverty and homelessness and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, it'll be amazing if all the 1%ers of the world just threw in some money to sort of rectify that big issue. I think that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Let's wish it come
Yeah.
true. Okay? Thanks, Troy. Thank you very much. Wishing you all the best for your career and for your life. And thanks for helping others by sharing what you did with us today.
No
Thanks
worries.
for being on Hello Darling.
Thanks for having me.